How can I set up my BIOS UEFI to install a Linux distro? Imagine turning on your computer and getting ready to install a new Linux operating system. Before the installer can do its magic, your system needs to be set up correctly. This setup involves entering the firmware settings, which control how your computer starts up. These settings are called BIOS or UEFI. BIOS stands for Basic Input-Output System, while UEFI means Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. UEFI is newer and offers more features like faster startup, better security, and support 4 larger hard drives. To begin, restart your computer and watch for a message telling you which key to press to enter the firmware settings. Common keys are F2, Del, ESC, or F10. Press that key quickly during startup. If you miss it, just restart and try again. Once inside, look for options related to booting or startup. You will want to disable features like fast boot or quick boot. These speed up startup but can cause issues when booting from a USB or DVD. Disabling them, make sure your installer loads properly. Next, check the boot mode. Modern systems usually use UEFI mode, which supports GPT partitioning and FI system partitions. Older systems might use legacy BIOS mode, which relies on MBR partitioning. For installing most Linux distributions, UEFI mode is recommended because it offers better security and faster boot times. If your system supports both, choose UEFI mode, but ensure your installation media is prepared for that. You can usually select UEFI or legacy mode in the firmware settings. Now, if you're installing in UEFI mode, your disk needs an FI system partition. This partition is a small section of the disk formatted as FAT32, around 500 megabytes in size. It should have the boot flag set. Some Linux installers create this partition automatically, but if you're manually partitioning, make sure to create and mount it at boot FI. After that, set the boot order. Make sure your USB drive or DVD containing the Linux installer is at the top of the list. This way, your computer will boot from the installation media first. Save your changes and exit the firmware settings. Your system will restart and should now boot into the Linux installer. Remember, if you see a folder or message indicating the installer is loading, you are on the right track. If not, double-check your boot mode and boot order settings. Also, if your system has secure boot enabled, some Linux distributions support it, but if you encounter problems, disabling secure boot can help. In summary, entering your firmware settings, disabling conflicting features, choosing UEFI mode, preparing the FI partition if needed, and setting the correct boot order are the key steps. Once done, your system will be ready to run the Linux installer smoothly. This process is essential because it ensures your hardware is prepared to load the Linux kernel and start your new operating system without issues.